Welcome to our presentation about DestinationSkagen. This is our agenda that we would like to go through today. First of all, we'll introduce Skagen City, then we'll talk about the companies we visited. We'll later make a summary about DestinationSkagen, and we'll talk a little bit about our research question. Skagen is Denmark's most northern town, located on the Skagen-Odde Peninsula close to Norway and Sweden, and placed between the two oceans of Skagerrak and Kattegat. Skagen is home to the famous artist colony, and it is originally a fishing village. Of attractions, Skagen offers Råbjerg Mile, the sanded church, the museum showing the artworks of the artist colony, Grenen, or the branch as it's called in English, the main fishing port in Denmark, Skagen Lighthouse, and Vippefyret, or the tipping lantern. In the low season, Skagen has about 8,000 citizens living there, and in the high season, this number increases to 15,000. During our visit to Turisthus Nord, we had a presentation with René and discovered many interesting facts about Skagen as a destination. In 2016, Skagen experienced 35,551 more registered commercial stays than the previous year. This is an increase of about 6.7%, and we could compare this to the 0.7% increase in Aalborg. Skagen is Denmark's largest camping municipality, and there are about 2,479 people working with tourism in the municipality of Frederikshavn in 2016. There is a high knowledge of Skagen as a destination in countries like Norway, Sweden, Germany, and of course Denmark. Skagen has a short but very intense high season. They benefit from co-branding from other existing brands such as Skagen Watches, Tordenskjold Matches, and the TV show Badehotellet. They would like to extend the business tourism segment and offer, for instance, meeting facilities in a German bunker or in historic settings. Skagen has to work with big differences in the market segments. For instance, a Norwegian tourist will think that a pint of beer for 50 kroner is really cheap, whereas a German tourist will find it very expensive. And furthermore, we were told that most marketing for Skagen currently is done off-season. We also visited Color Hotel. At Color Hotel, the main segment and guests are empty nesters. They are also hosting people who go to Skagen with the purpose of working there for a couple of days or even weeks. Color Line Hotel is owned by Norwegians, or the Norwegian company Color Line, which also reflects in the fact that 50% of all guests are Norwegians traveling with package deals from Color Line. If you take a look at the occupancy rate, you can see that Color Line has an occupancy rate of 95% during the high season, and 70% during the months of December and January. There's a big difference between high season and low season, since the occupancy rate is at 40% during November, February, and March. When it comes to workforce, Color Line consists of 60 employees during the high season and 20 employees during the winter season, or the low season. This is also a very big difference, and is due to this very different occupancy rate. At Cruise Skagen, we had a presentation by Fie. Cruise Skagen are generally experiencing a successful development of both the quantity of visitors and their physical capacity in the harbor. Cruise guests tend to stay only one day in Skagen, and they go out into town and explore offers in culture, gastronomy, and shopping. In Skagen, they tend to buy amber, paintings, and artworks, and Skagen watches. Skagen is a good location for cruise lines placed along the popular route going on to Sweden, the Baltics and Russia. At the moment, Skagen is mainly being visited by guests from UK and Germany. Currently, this segment visiting Skagen on cruises are 50 years and up and are interested in culture. Skagen would, however, like to tap into the Chinese market, which is showing a growing interest for Denmark as a destination. Furthermore, the Chinese market is currently interested in seeing and experiencing the real Scandinavia and a real Danish experience, and Skagen seems to be the perfect destination for doing so, as it offers a large historical and very authentic aspect. However, to be able to expand the market and receive these tourists, they would need Chinese-speaking guides, which are hard to come by, along with Italian, French and Spanish-speaking guides. Even though stakeholders have adapted quite a lot to having guest cruises from official sites, they're still being expected to do a further adaptation by translating their menus in other languages, having easy exchange rates at hand at the cash register in stores, and offering staff which speaks other languages than just Danish and maybe English. To help stakeholders achieve this, they invite them to courses and educational events where they try to explain and give the stakeholders the necessary information to be able to adapt to the current trends in cruise business. Skagen Hotel were our accommodation during our stay in Skagen, and owner Rolf told us about his place. Den Hostel is a low-price accommodation to stay when you're in Skagen. The price for a single bed for one night is 160 Danish kroner. If you want, you can buy additional services such as food and cleaning. Their many guests are families, school children, sports people and backpackers. 50% are families with children, 40% are school classes and 10% backpackers or people going to meetings or work events. 70% of the guests visiting Den Hostel are from Denmark, Norway or Germany. 30% are from Holland and England. They have very competitive prices. Their biggest competition is Airbnb and Norwegians who buy houses in Skagen to rent them out during the summer period. Den Hostel is open 9 months and closed 3 months a year, where they are preparing for the season to begin in March. They're almost 100% booked already during this season, and in 2016 they had 14,000 guests. At Brøndums Hotel, we all gathered in one of the old living rooms, and General Manager Thomas told us about the hotel. Brøndums Hotel is a historical hotel. They have contributed quite a lot to Skagen as a city and the development of Skagen as a destination. The culture in the hotel is maintained in the original style, and Karen Blixen is one of the most famous people that have stayed in Brøndums Hotel. She actually wrote some of her chapters from My Africa at the hotel. They do not have any specific marketing channels which they use, but only use Facebook. The hotel's main way of branding themselves is by word of mouth. They value loyal employees and a dynamic workforce with people in different ages. The hotel has 50,000 guests a year, and they use revenue management and have different prices from the low to the high season. The main target group are people in the age of 45 to 85. 54% of guests are from Denmark, 22% from Norway, 18% from Sweden, and the rest is a mix of UK, USA and Germany. On our last day, we visited Skagen Museum and had a tour accompanied by communication manager Jacob. Skagen's museum consists of 3 different museums, being Skagen's Art Museum, the House of Michael Anker, and the House of Drachmann. Skagen's museum is visited by 170,000 guests annually, but in the low season it actually only has 5 to 20 visitors per day. This means that it economically would be best to close the museum in the low season, but strategically it would be best to keep it open in the low season because of the destination and the commitment to the local community. To sum up, all the stakeholders we encountered experience a short and very intense high season. This makes it hard for them to find qualified workforce because of the short period of time they can offer employment. Extending the season might make it easy to attract qualified workforce. As an employer, you'd be able to make a better offer and would be a more attractive choice. So how can Skagen as a destination extend their season?